Welcome everybody today. Understand that what's important is understanding that you have to go and grow up every single day and making sure every single day you must be a winner. I promise you, anybody who's actually a winner today is focusing on understanding that you have to practice something at least. I mean, you must be doing something along the way to make sure you're inspiring yourself all the time, because I understand that when I'm inspiring myself all the time, I'm making sure I'm growing up. I'm making sure I'm doing something foundational that nobody else is ever doing in their lifetime, because I understand that when I do something that you've never done, I promise you I have the ultimate advantage. I'm making sure every single day when I go and really become something more every single day, I'm looking to grow from what I am right now. I'm making sure every single day that I can go and really be the most I can be today, but I'm always focusing on my direction and my heart and making sure I can go and public speak in front of crowds all the time so I can go and understand how to be a winner. Approach now, every single day I'm a winner. I'm understanding all the time that I'm doing something very worth it today. I'm making sure I'm going to go and do something all the time that's going to help me move forward. So I'm understanding that's communicational skills today. I'm understanding that when I communicate daily and all day long, I want to be doing a nice and beautiful public speaking seminar all around the world. So I'm actually doing it as a busking performer as well. So I understand that when I do that, I'm always wearing a nice and beautiful long shirt in the sun, because I understand that this long shirt that I have right now can also cover up my skin in the sun, and then I can also wear a hat also if I like to. I understand, although I do love to wear a hat, I do love to do everything, I never ever look to understand anything other than Jesus Christ today, because I understand Jesus Christ wants me to understand the word I only. I approach now, since I understand the word I only today, I understand that what's important is here I am doing my nice and beautiful video. I approach now, I'm just in the nice and beautiful Brisbane Centre over here. I'm understanding that no matter what I do today, I'm understanding that when I really grow myself all the time, I'm looking for the best opportunity of my life right now to give you my business cards, so you have to come and get it. I understand that what's important is understanding that when you go and do something very nice and simple every single day to go and become something that you want to be in a way that you're going to go and live up to the nice and beautiful equation of life, then understanding every single day that what's important is understanding how to communicate your words. I promise you, your words can make up everything that you ever want. So every single day you must understand how to communicate those words in front of people. So if you see negative people around and you see drug addicts around and you see these homeless people around, I promise you, yes, I promise you it's nice to help them, but sometimes they never want your help either. I promise you must understand that. I promise you that what's amazing about life is understanding to get help as much as you can. So I'm understanding either way that when you see people who have poor images of life, I mean, just be very wary about them, because they're very people in terms of they're people who want to cause you damage. I understand that homeless people a lot today want to cause people damage. I mean, in the sense of what you need to understand every single day is understanding to stay away from poor imaging people, and anybody who looks like a poor image today, I mean, just stay away from them, because then otherwise you become a poor image just like them. I mean, make sure you understand that you're creating your life all the time. You're making sure every single day that what you're doing is a greater way of life. So I'm understanding that when I do a busking performance in front of people, I'm just looking to do my work today. I'm just making sure that I'm doing my work. So anybody who's hearing me today, I'm understanding that every single day people are just walking around town, but I'm understanding that if anybody is curious about what I have to do, I'm pretty sure I do have a business card over here, but what I'm here for mainly is just to go and do my videos and just to be able to go and do my work. I'm understanding when I do my work over here, I'm the only one here, and I understand there's a woman over here, but I'm understanding that what's important is understanding how to grow yourself every single time. So I'm understanding that there is people around me over here. So I'm understanding that's why I come here and do a busking performance, because I understand that I just come here to do my work completely. So I'm understanding that if you go and really do your work every day and you do something that is along the lines of what you love to do, I promise you now that's the best way to live life, isn't it? I promise you it's much more likely that you're going to be much more successful every single day than if you just go and do something that's personal development. I approach now, the best aspect of personal development is communicational skills, and it's being able to actually talk it out with people, and it's being able to resolve the conflict. So if somebody is a drug addict, I realize if somebody is a drug addict around you and they're forcing you to do something they want, then you have to talk yourself out of that. I mean, you have to understand how to talk to that individual who wants to demand it from you. I mean, they want your money in front of you. So you have to be able to communicate with the words what you want yourself to do in a better way, so that you never have to cause physical damage, and so that other people never have to cause you physical damage. So instead of actually being in front of drug addicts, I mean, just get away from them altogether, and then nobody's going to point a gun in your face in the first place. So just remove yourself from those situations where poor imaging people are. And I understand every single day when I go and understand every single day how to communicate more greatness into the world. I promise you it's just those words I'm giving. I promise you now, anybody has those words right now to give, but most people are unconfident in themselves to be able to give those words. So what I focus upon understanding every single day is connecting the dots. I connect the words together. I connect the words and my whole life together in a way that I'm growing it, and then I go and give those words together, and I give new ideas, like making sure every single day I'm leading people in a different way, and I'm leading people through those communicational styles I have. So it's only one communicational technique, which is just being able to grow. I promise you that's it. I promise you it's just being able to speak words. I promise you if you can just speak words, then you can understand what I'm doing. I promise you that's it. I promise you just get up here and speak your words, and that's it. I promise you your words are whatever you think of it. I mean, whatever you actually make of it is what you're saying. So when you make up anything in life, you're just creating words along the way, and I realize random words just come to you, and they just keep preaching and preaching and preaching, and then eventually in 10 years time, I promise you just get so great at communicational skills. I understand that if you watch my videos daily, then you understand I'm here to motivate you and inspire you all the time to grow and love your life. So I'm understanding that when you grow me, in terms of when you grow with I today, I promise you that I motivate you to go and understand how it is to live life in a better way for yourself every single day. So we're focusing on understanding that when you're doing something very popular around town, I'm understanding that's what I'm doing. I'm always making sure I'm doing something around town. I'm doing something that I love to do all the time. I'm making sure I'm always looking at the crowd. I'm understanding every single day how to communicate with people. But I'm understanding I want to go and understand how it is to be alone. So I'm always here doing busking alone because I understand I choose to do it. I choose to do it alone because nobody else wants to come and do it with me because they have their own lives. I mean, understand? So make sure you understand that what's important right here. I realize what's important right here is I never need other people with me. I just need I just need to understand how to learn, how to grow with my communicational skills and be able to go and be much more of an influencer. So when I influence people in different ways, I'm looking to go and give you the communicational skills every single day, because I understand that when I give you my business card, then you understand to come and get it. It's right here. I realize it's right here, my business card. I'm understanding that what's amazing is understanding every single day to lift people with those words that you have. So I'm understanding that if you have an injury today, then make sure you understand that if you have a leg injury, then make sure you're standing on the other leg more than the injury leg. I mean, in a sense, so if you have a left leg that's in injury, then stand on your right leg much more and walk with your right leg instead much more, while never putting as much weight on the actual left leg. I mean, you understand, because your left leg may be having an injury right now. So what you need to understand is if you have a broken arm, I mean, make sure you never do push-ups with both arms when you have a broken arm. I mean, understand? So make sure you understand that what you need to understand is common sense. I promise that's all common sense. I mean, make sure you understand that you never get yourself into a situation where you may have to cop out your eye. I mean, understand? I mean, never get yourself into a situation of a knife fight. I mean, never be into a knife fight. I mean, never get yourself a knife to stab somebody in the first place. I mean, try to discipline yourself to never ever get the knife, because that's martial arts. I mean, martial arts has everything to do with staying away from the knife and staying away from the weapons, unless it's nunchucks. Or if you have nunchucks, I mean, one of those Bruce Lee ones, probably that one, I realize now there's a dangerous one, which is the metal one, and I realize that you can hit somebody with the metal pole, with the nunchucks, but never get yourself those metal ones. I mean, never get the nunchucks that is actually metal, but get yourself one of those nunchucks that has the wooden type of way. So I'm understanding if you have a wooden nunchucks, or as one of those nunchucks that's wooden, first you make sure that it's a very thin wood, so that you understand that if you hit them across the head, that they never ever break their skull, but it hurts. I realize it does hurt, but make sure you understand to never ever break people's skull with anything. I mean, in a sense, so making sure that we're never ever trying to hit people to break their skull, but we're trying to hit people to clobber knock them on the floor. I promise that's it. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand I always carry nunchucks around. I always have nunchucks in my bag right now. So I'm understanding if somebody attacks me, I'm martial arts right now. I'm understanding I do martial arts. So what I do is I get my nunchucks and I start fighting with my nunchucks. I start going like this, boom. I just smack him in the head and then they fall down really quickly. But I never try to go on top of him now, since he's on the floor. I never try to go and do this to him. I mean, I realize that if he gets back up to attack me, then I just go again. I just go again to hit him with the actual nunchucks. I mean, in a sense, so what you need to realize is today's fight is very unfair. I mean, it's very unfair unless you have nunchucks with you. I mean, in a sense, because guess what happens? I mean, the guy gets a gun. I mean, the woman gets a gun and they want to shoot you because it's unfair. I mean, violence is always unfair. So get yourself some nunchucks. I mean, understand? Because guess what? I realize either way, that what's important is understanding that if you go into violence with people, I promise you, the guy may be bigger than you. I mean, in a sense, so what did David versus Goliath do? I promise you, David gets a slingshot. I mean, in a sense, because Goliath is so big, I mean, David gets a slingshot. I get the nunchucks. Because, you must understand, get yourself some nunchucks. Because that way you're going to feel safer on the road. I mean, never get a pocket knife because somebody can get a bigger knife. I mean, never get a gun because somebody can get something else. I mean, other people can come after you. I mean, you must understand that. But what you do is get yourself away from those situations so you never have to cause violence in the first place. So if you're going anywhere around the world and you're doing a performance in front of people, just do it one time in that area. Because if you do it 50 million times in that area, then your whole life is passing by. I mean, you must understand that what happens when you do 50,000 performances in front of the same crowd, I promise you that 99% of the crowd gets jealous of you. I promise you. It's just like Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ comes to do a nice and beautiful live performance in front of people back then. And what did they do? I promise you, they all hate him and they put him on the cross because he gives people love. I mean, so if you do that today, I promise you it's the same thing. I promise you it's the same thing in Jesus' times. So make sure every single day it's going to be just like that. I mean, but what happens is just understand every single day that this world is evolving and getting much better. I mean, you must understand that there are so much more positive people than negative people on the planet. So that's why this planet is actually rolling on and it's actually good. I mean, in a sense, so every single day understand that the world is good. So if 98% of the world is actually good and everything else is negative, I mean, you must understand it's good. I mean, if 99% of the world is good and 98% in terms of 97% is negative, and 98% is good, then it's good. I promise it's a good world. I mean, you understand? But how, Danny? I mean, how is it good? Because if 51% of the world is good and 49 is negative, I promise you it's still a good world, isn't it? I mean, you must understand that the goodness of life is far outweighing the negative aspects of life. So just get away from the negative aspects of life. So ask yourself 10 questions today and say, where is the negative people and what locations are the negative people and what do the negative people dress up as, and how much money do they have? I mean, how much do negative people have in money, and what do they say when they speak as well? I mean, what do negative people say when they speak, and what do they do in their life? I mean, what do negative people do around you? I mean, in a sense, so when you answer those questions, and then you have a better idea about negative people. I mean, in a sense, and then stay away from all those people, and stay away from those places, and stay away from what they do as well. I mean, in a sense of making sure you're always much more positive in life and making sure you're doing something along the way, but making sure every single day you understand how to abbreviate. I mean, making sure every single day you understand how to grow yourself and other people is what it's all about. So if you understand every single day that you become much more positive in your life, and then you understand every single day to talk to yourself all day long, and then go and really, really inspire somebody today to succeed, because that's all I do. I make sure every single day I'm doing something every single day to go and elaborate. I'm elaborating to you. So if you ask me what, I elaborate. If you ask me why, I elaborate. When you ask me a question, I elaborate. I try to answer to you. I promise you the whole question and the whole truth shall set you free if you just understand to answer people by being valuable. And now when you're valuable in life, you're just giving those people that nice and beautiful communicational style. So if they ask for something from you, I mean, just give them some words of encouragement instead. I mean, say, I apologize, but guess what? I understand I have to go, but I do love you. I mean, guess what? I mean, try to give them something of positive will. I mean, try to answer their question. I mean, try to help them to succeed. I mean, try to get them accommodation with your words. I mean, try to give them a guide of information that they can benefit from. I mean, in a sense, so that's how you help people, and that's how you give something. So if a homeless individual asks you for $5, I mean, give them some words of encouragement instead. I understand that words of encouragement is far more than $5. I'd rather you tell me that you love me than give me $1 billion. I promise you. I value the words much more than the money. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand every single day to value words much more than the money. I realize the words of life is going to help you prosper, but never the money. I promise you, I can give you $1 billion and you can make $50 billion, but maybe you have no communicational skills. I mean, in a sense, so if I give you $1 billion and you make $50 billion and you have no communicational skills, that means that maybe you're very fat in terms of you're maybe very obese in life. So what you do is you have to have better communicational skills to become much more healthy in your weight. So making sure that we never ever go obese and we never ever go underweight, but making sure we have that extra amount of nice and beautiful communicational skill to understand what nutrition to eat and what to stay away from in food and drink so that we can get healthier is the whole point. I mean, every single day, understand that if you want to build muscle, then build muscle build muscle doing push-ups first, and just keep doing push-ups. I mean, eventually, your biceps are going to get so strong that you can do your back, and then you can do your shoulders, and then you can do your legs too. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but make sure your biceps are the biggest in your body. I mean, understand? I mean, the biceps have to be the strongest in your body. I mean, make sure you understand, because if you have weak biceps, then you can never even do chin-ups. I mean, then you can never even do shoulders anymore. I mean, you must understand. So the biceps in your body must be the strongest muscle in your body. I mean, you must understand that, because the biceps can do the chest as well, and it can do the back, and it can do the shoulders and the triceps. I mean, you can also do the chin-ups with the push-ups. I mean, you understand? So make sure you understand. Then the last aspect of life in your body that you work out is the abs. I mean, that's the last aspect of life. I mean, you must understand that if you're obese and then you lose 40 kilos, you may have one of those skins. I mean, you may have the skin actually dropping off your body. So what you have to do is get an operation to see the abs. I mean, you understand? Because otherwise it's all skin. Because the abs are underneath the skin. So what you need to do is you have to stretch out the skin, and you have to get an operation then. I mean, in a sense, so what you do when you get an operation is you go somewhere where it's very affordable. So go overseas somewhere. I mean, go to Thailand and get an operation there. I mean, go to Serbia or Croatia and get an operation there. I mean, in a sense, so if you go to Australia, the operation may be $15,000 bucks. But if you go to Thailand, it may be just 2,000 bucks. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand that there are better deals out there, always with money and expenses in terms of investments. And now, look at life as no expenses. I mean, look at life that there is no cost to anything. I mean, just look at life that it's an investment all the time. I mean, your bills are an investment. It's never a bill, because it's only a bill if you say it's a bill. I never ever give money toward bills. I give money toward I only. I mean, you must understand, I'm never a bill, I'm just the word I. So I'm understanding that when I grow myself every single day in front of a crowd, I'm making sure that I'm always investing in bills and everything that's going to help me to get, I realize I invest in money and everything, I realize I invest in money and everything that's going to get me much more money in the process. And any kind of value I can get every single day, I'm understanding that I never give money for bills. I give money to invest something only. I'm an investor, I'm never a bill type of individual. I understand when I give you money in terms of 50 bucks, I give you a $50 investment. I never give you a $50 bill. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand to never think about bills and never think about anything other than the word I. Approach now, every single day when I'm doing something along the way, I'm making sure I'm alone, I'm making sure I'm away from other people, because why? I understand that I want to have a great legacy. Approach you, other people never want a great legacy for you if they're with you. Approach you, they never want a great legacy for you. I mean, if you're walking with some guys today, approach you, they never want you to have a great legacy, man. I promise you have to have a great legacy alone only. I promise you great thinkers think alone. I mean, you must understand that. I promise you if you have a greater legacy than your friends, I promise you then your friends are jealous of you, I promise you. I promise you that's why I want to stay alone all the time. I promise you if I walk with the crowd, then the crowd hates me if I'm the best out of all of them. Because that's what happened to Jesus. I realize that's what did happen to Jesus. I mean, Jesus Christ has the greatest legacy among them, and then they go kill the one who has the greatest legacy. I mean, understand? And then the woman have sex with the guys who killed Jesus Christ. I mean, and that's the kind of world we have today. I mean, it's just like that. I mean, it's still like that today in 2021. Because I understand that those people who are far better than everybody else, everybody else gets jealous of the better one. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand every single day, you must go really grow yourself regardless, and understand I never ever want to be the crowd. I never go back to the crowd that I grew up with. I never ever show up where they go. I never go to their locations where they are. I never try to contact them anymore. I never try to call them. I never try to do anything with them anymore. I mean, I may make events around them, but they realize they have to give me some money to see me. I mean, you understand? So as soon as they say, fuck off, I mean, guess what? I mean, they're very negative on you because they never even want to give you some money. I mean, you understand? I realize if they never want to give you some money, it's because they're negative about you. I promise you, it's that simple. I promise you now, I'll give you all the money in the world if you ask me for it. I promise you now, every single day, I'm understanding that my money that I give you is all the words of encouragement I can give you today. I promise you, that's all the money in the world to me, because it's never the plastic money that's going to help you get healthier, but it's the words of encouragement from me and everybody that's going to help you. I promise you need people to encourage you with words much more than the money. I promise you, if you have no friends, but you have all the money in the world, then you have nothing. I mean, you understand? I mean, money is nothing when you have friends. I mean, you must understand that friends are much more than money. I'd rather make friends than money. I mean, you must understand that. I mean, you must understand that when you're really growing yourself all day long and you're doing something very profound and professional in front of people all day long, I mean, go and rate yourself to be the best in the world. I mean, make sure you're doing something every single day to understand to get away from having a spouse and to have, get away from having kids. I mean, get away from having a spouse until 30. And then after 40, you can understand that you're financially secure at 40 years of age, I promise you. I promise you, then at 40 years of age, everybody can have kids until 55, I promise you. I mean, you must understand, every single day, try to focus upon understanding that what's important is have kids after 40, or after 30 at least. I mean, you must understand that what's important is have that kind of time gap where you can be alone for some period of time. I mean, be alone for about 7 years of your life. I mean, go and understand how that is to travel the world by yourself, because then you're going to understand what a great legacy is. I promise you, a great legacy never happens with the crowd. I promise you, great legacies happen away from the crowd. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand, I have over 800 hours of videos I've done in talking, just talking like this, away from the crowd. I went away from the crowd to do that. Because if I was with the crowd for 800 hours of that time, then guess what happens? I mean, where did my time go? I mean, my time went into people who never care about my legacy. I mean, in a sense, so I'm making sure I get away from the crowd, so I invest my time. I realize my time is much more valuable than money. I mean, I never care about 20 bucks an hour. I care about the hour. I care about that hour. I mean, that 1 hour can go to a communicational skill like this, and I can do a 1 hour video instead of 20 bucks. I mean, in a sense, so what's important is understanding how to lead people and how to understand how to treasure yourself. I mean, if you can treasure yourself all the time, then you can understand how to grow yourself. I promise you, I'm growing myself all the time. I'm making sure every time I'm doing something along the way where I can understand how to grow myself. I'm understanding that if you have other people, let's say, smoking around you or doing anything around you, I mean, just make sure every single day that you can communicate your nice and beautiful remedies and also your nice and beautiful symphonies, because I understand that us non-smokers understand how it is when somebody starts smoking around us. I understand that. So what you do is you get your stuff and you go somewhere else, or you understand either way to just absorb it and just do your videos, and then just make sure you understand either way, you just go do your work the best way you can. I mean, make sure that what's important to you all day long is understand that I understand how it is to be a smoker and to be a caffeine drinker and to be an alcoholic. I understand I was that before, but guess what? I understand I had to quit one of that to quit the other one. So I had to quit the alcohol first to get a shot and to get a way of life that I understand that I can go and quit the smoking and also the caffeine. So then I dropped the caffeine from my life, and then understand the cure is drop out the caffeine, and then the cigarettes, you drop it out straight away. Because the caffeine is a big trigger to smoke cigarettes. Now, every single day when I'm understanding something, I'm understanding that I want to go and really understand how it is to grow. But I'm understanding all the time that I want to go and really do something much more pronunciating in my life in a way that's very new in terms of information. So I'm understanding I want to talk in an indirect manner to what people are doing. I want to make sure every single day I never talk about what people are doing around me. I talk about something different than what they're doing, because when I talk about what they're doing, then it's really direct at them. I mean, in a sense, to make sure every single day that when you really go and pronunciate yourself every single day in front of a crowd differently, then you understand every single day that's the best way in life. Now, when you understand all the time that you're going to go and travel the world every single day, then you're going to understand every single day you're going to do something even far greater. I mean, make sure you understand how it is in terms of how it is to make sure that you're living better and a better life for yourself. So when you're understanding all the time, when you're doing something different for yourself, then you understand how to go and do something far greater for yourself daily is the best way to understand how to communicate yourself into greatness. So every single day you're looking to understand something. I mean, you're looking to understand how it is to be courageous with yourself and other people. I mean, make sure you understand that you get yourself into peaceful places where there's peaceful people and where there's silence much more. I mean, the more people there are in that area while you're doing something that you're the loudest with, the more dangerous it becomes. I promise you now, if I go to a place where there's so much people and I'm the loudest one there, I promise you it may get violent for myself very soon. Because why? Because 50,000 people, I promise you 99% of them are negative. I promise you. And that's why if you go and find yourself positive around 50,000 people who are negative, and you're in front of them and you're positive while they're negative, I promise you they all chuck rocks at you. I wish they hate you so much. I promise you, and they're unaware of it. I mean, in a sense, to make sure you understand to get away from that spot. I mean, in a sense, to make sure you understand that what's important is find yourself in places where there's positive people and negative people is much better than negative people only. I mean, in a sense, so it's much better to be around 25,000 positive and negative people. That's 25,000 positive people and 25,000 negative people together than to go 25,000 negative people only. I mean, you understand? I mean, it's much better to be around the positive ones and the negative ones together, when it's together. But it's even better to just find yourself around positive people only. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand that when you're walking throughout life, you'll see some negative people and some positive people. Just in a mixed combination. I mean, in a sense, I promise you that's how it is. But then make sure you understand that you go and find those people who are just positive in your life. So you can find them on actual YouTube today, and you can find them in books, and you can find them around the world doing live events. So what do you do with positive people? I mean, you give them money to be with them. Because they never want to be around you, man. I mean, they want to be around people who give them something. I mean, when you give me $1 million, they'll come around you. I understand? I mean, otherwise, I never have to be around you. I understand? So make sure you understand that if you want to be around positive people, then you have to give them money to understand that. Because that is what you want. I mean, you want to be around positive people, yeah? So give them money to be positive. I mean, so if you invest $10,000 into Grant Cardone, I mean, you're going to understand some positivity behind it. I mean, understand? I mean, then that $10,000 investment, you're going to remember that. I mean, you're going to remember how much you gave him. Because that now is a $10,000 investment on you, yourself, to become positive. I mean, you understand? Because nobody gives $1 million to positive people to never become positive. I mean, you understand? So what you do as a positive scenario in life is you invite all the stars into your life. I mean, you understand? And what do? I realize you give them handouts. I mean, you give them money to come to your events. I mean, you call up whoever is famous today and you say, hey, I'll give you $100,000 to come to my event to public speak for 5 minutes. I mean, how? I mean, you can afford it. I mean, you can communicate that. I mean, in a sense, so over time, you can communicate anything. I mean, make sure every single day you understand that you just have to believe in yourself and your communicational style to be able to go and achieve what you want to do every single day. So when I'm really understanding that I go and really change up my nice and beautiful style and pace all the time, I'm making sure I'm the center of attention. I'm the center of attention of what I do all the time. So I'm focusing on understanding that I'm around the park over here, but understand that what's important is I'm in the center right now. I understand over there was some shade earlier because of the sun, but I said, nah, I want to be right here because this is the center. I mean, you must understand that now, since I understand every single day what's going on around the people of my life and what's going on around the world, I understand I have to plan all the time. I have to study. I have to be in a video all the time. I have to be in a video. I have to be doing some video work today. I mean, that's how you become a billionaire. I mean, make sure you understand if you want to go and become a billionaire, then you're positive about that. I mean, negative people never want to become a billionaire, man. I mean, they want to become homeless. I mean, negative people want to become homeless. So it's either you become a billionaire or homeless. I mean, what do you want? I mean, a billionaire is much more easier to achieve, and it's much more better to achieve a billionaire than to achieve a homeless individual. I mean, you understand? But Jesus Christ wants you to become a billionaire much more than a homeless individual, I promise you. Because Jesus himself never wants to be homeless. I promise you. I promise you, Jesus himself never wants to be homeless. Long term. I mean, you must understand that. I promise you that what's amazing is every single day, focus on understanding that nobody wants to be homeless in this lifetime. I promise you. If you want to be homeless all your life, I promise you, then you have no life. I promise you now, make sure every single day you understand that what's important right now is a communicational tactic. And now, when you're communicating that tactic of yours, which is communicational skills, I promise you there's something in your heart right now that wants to elaborate that story of yours in communicational words. That's what you need to do as a public speaker. I mean, you have to learn some, I realize you have to learn some communicational skills in front of people, and you have to do some busking performances, and you have to keep going all the time with those busking performances, just like I am. But this is how I communicate. I mean, this is professional communication. I mean, this is the best of the best. I mean, make sure you understand that. I mean, make sure you understand that what's important is communicating with everybody the best way. I mean, making sure every single day you're so positive in front of people that you understand every single day you're going to go and make a life for yourself. So when you make a life for yourself all the time, I mean, make sure you're doing something all the time to make sure you're inspiring people. I mean, when you can inspire people, then you can inspire yourself to grow too. For us, it's very important, but I understand every single day that there are people around me, but I understand I can go somewhere as well where there's more people, but I choose to come here as well. I choose to come here and do a nice, beautiful public speaking performance here because I've never done it here. And it's much more valuable for me to be doing it here than down there where there's drug addicts in terms of people who may fight me because I'm a public speaker. I mean, you understand? So I'd rather come here because it's safer. First, it's safer over here. So go where it's safer. Even though there's more people over there, I'd rather come here because it's safer. I promise you. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand that, yes, I see a lot of stuff when I'm public speaking on the microphone like this. I see a lot of people. I mean, you must understand. But then I study these people. I've seen over millions of people in Australia, I promise you. I've been doing some public speaking in front of millions of people. I mean, just in Sydney and Brisbane. I mean, you must understand every single day that when I really go and dwell upon a better life, I'm understanding every single day I'm focusing on a better life. I'm focusing on something that I love to do. But I'm understanding that if you see more people today, that's what you need to do. I mean, I realize you need to be doing live events in front of people much more so that you can go and study these people and so that you can go and do something very reactive with yourself to grow everybody right now. I mean, it's very important to understand that your legacy is very important. So understand that you always take control back of your life from other people and never ever give them your time. I mean, never give other people your time. I mean, never give them your time. I mean, only ever give them your time when it's valuable. I mean, what's valuable to you? I mean, you must understand it's communicational skills. I mean, you never need other people to talk to. I mean, you never need other people to talk to. Or else you just need yourself to talk to yourself all day long. Or else when you talk to yourself all day long, then we're talking positive only. First, when you talk positive with yourself only, then you're just alone and building a great legacy. I understand that what's important is understanding that. First, when you can build a great legacy alone, then you never need the crowd anymore. And now, since we're never needing, since we never need other people anymore, now we are interdependent. I mean, now, what are the differences between dependent people and independent people and interdependence people? First, now, dependent people are people who need others. First, they need their father. First, they need their mothers. I mean, you understand? I mean, they need to be around mama and tata. I mean, you understand? I mean, they need other people's money in a way that they need to conform in a way that they need other people around them, is what I'm saying. I mean, never the money. I mean, the money, whereas everybody needs money. But they need people around them because without those people, I mean, they can never live. I mean, those are dependent people. I mean, understand? But independent people are people who never need the crowd. I mean, understand? I mean, independent people never need the crowd at all. I mean, they're the people who just go around traveling on their own. And they're independent financially and welfare, and through health, they're independent. I mean, they're emotionally independent and personally independent. I mean, they never need other people and they have some money. I mean, that is also understanding that they have emotional health as well. I mean, those are independent people. But interdependent people are people who are leading others around the world and they're financially rich and they're also understanding they have also all the health in the world and they're accomplishing all their goals and much more than independent people. And they're around people and they have employees around them. I mean, people who are independent in terms of interdependent can lead other people in terms of a company. I mean, they have a company of 1,000 people and there's mega rich people and they're emotionally healthy and they have a jet and a nice and beautiful helicopter as well. I mean, they have the financial riches. I mean, you understand? Because independent people have no helicopter. I mean, independent people have no jets. I mean, you understand? I mean, make sure you understand every single day that what's important is understanding every single day how to figure out a better way for yourself. So understanding all the time that what you want to do all the time is focusing on a greater life for yourself and other people because everybody is important all the time. So we're focusing on something that we love to do. First, it's so important that you guys come and get my business card over here. I have a YouTube channel as well. I'm making sure I'm doing something very important myself in terms of communicational style today. So I'm focusing on doing something that I love to do. I mean, just come and check it out. I mean, it's very nice and simple. Thank you. I thank you very much. I thank you. Alright, now every single day I'm understanding that when I focus upon understanding, I thank you. I love it. I'm making sure every single day I'm focusing on understanding all the time that some people are just never in it for you. I mean, understand, and you must understand that nobody is in it for you. I'm very sure I am in it for the word I, and you must understand that everybody is in it for the word I. I mean, their word I is something that they have to become aware of. I mean, you must understand that everybody is working for the word I today. I promise you must understand that. I promise you now, when you understand how to really use the word I into your advantage and you understand every single day how to become the best version of yourself, I mean, go and do something every single day that you can to be the mega star that you are. I promise you, everybody's a mega star today, but you have to make yourself a star daily. I mean, you have to tell yourself, I'm a star. I mean, you must understand to go and really focus upon understanding the people around you and how they are with you. So if you see someone who's a poor image around you and they're coming up to you to do whatever with you, I mean, make sure you understand that you may be getting yourself into a violent situation here. I mean, you understand? Because it's never you, but it's also to understand that it's you also. I mean, you understand? So if somebody hits you violently, it's them, but it's also you. I mean, you found yourself there in the first place. So what you need to do is protect yourself. I mean, in a sense, so I get some nunchucks. And I start going like this. I mean, if you, boom, I smack him in the head really quickly because I never want to fight. I mean, that's what martial arts is today. So I'm understanding that if you want to be a martial arts expert, I mean, you never need nunchucks, but yes, you do. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand that you need to learn how it is to self-defense as well. So when I self-defend myself in a fight, I stand still and I grow from the spot, and also I go backwards only. I never go forwards. I only ever go forwards to get them away from my nice and beautiful technology. I mean, understand? So if I go on attack, I'm even worse going on the attack in terms of, I'm even better going on attack. So I'm understanding that what's amazing is understanding that you have to be overall better. I mean, never call yourself worse, but I'm understanding that what's important is understanding that you never ever need thieves around you, and you never need negative people around you. I mean, you must understand that. So that's the number one rule of life. I mean, the number one rule of life is get away from other people. I mean, never try to stick onto the girlfriend that you have. I mean, never try to stick onto your mama. I mean, understand, because that's how it feels. I mean, when you stick onto a girlfriend, it's the same thing as sticking onto your mother and father and holding their hand all the time. I mean, it looks unattractive, doesn't it? I mean, Jesus Christ shows up in your life for 10 hours of the day, and then guess what? I mean, he goes for 20 years, and then in 20 years' time, he sees you again, and he says, how are you? I mean, the same, because where did Jesus go for 20 years? I mean, he was missing from your life for 20 years, but then he came into your life in 20 years' time. He comes into your life again, and then you understand he's your friend. Because on day one, he sees you, but then on day 50,000, he sees you again. But what happens between that? Approach, he's gone. But at least you understand him for 50,000, I mean, you understand him for 50,000 days that he's with you. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand that what's amazing about life is building connections with people while understanding to make them chase you. I mean, you must understand that. I mean, when you make people chase you, then you're much more famous in the process. Because imagine people always chasing you. I mean, imagine how it feels when people are chasing you all the time. I mean, it feels amazing. I mean, look at Justin Bieber. I mean, all the women are chasing him. I mean, why? Because he's famous. I mean, Justin Bieber never goes chasing other girls. I mean, Justin Bieber is never in a girl. I mean, you must understand, Justin Bieber never goes chasing girls. I mean, you understand? So what you need to realize is become mega famous in life. I mean, become the best you can be, is what I'm saying. So that's the whole point of life. I mean, the whole point of life is understanding popularity. So I'm always studying people. I've seen millions of people, and I understand them. I understand exactly every single one of them and how they actually live life. I promise you now, 99% of them will never cause you damage. I promise you 1% of the people are always causing you damage. I mean, you must understand. So what's important is understanding that you must chase knowledge. I have nice and beautiful knowledge over here that you can chase. I have a business card. So I'm understanding that what's amazing is understand to never chase people, but chase their knowledge. I mean, knowledge is free. I mean, knowledge is for free. So understand that some people do charge for the knowledge, but understand to go where it's for free in terms of knowledge. So if you understand that every single day that when you go and see many people, I mean, they'll sit down and they'll watch you for a bit and then they'll leave. I mean, they never care about your business card. I mean, they never care about chasing you. I mean, they never care about you either. I mean, you understand? Because guess what? I mean, those individuals there who just sat there, I mean, they just miss out on a whole bunch of information from me. And I never care about you either. I mean, you understand? Because guess what? I'm here building my legacy, but they're together and they're teenagers, man. I mean, they're tough guys, man. I mean, you understand? I mean, those are cocky rats in life. I love everything though. I mean, make sure you understand every single day that what's important is understanding that I'm building my legacy while you guys are watching. I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm building my legacy. I mean, you guys are yet to even start a YouTube video. I mean, you understand? So make sure you understand that when I go and really do something every single day, I'm trying to go and do the best I can all the time. But I'm never afraid of anybody. I'm making sure every single day that when you really, really go and stand up for yourself all the time, and you understand how to really talk in front of people, first, it's very important. First, it's very important to understand how it is to go and dwell upon something better. So when you can dwell upon something better for yourself, I mean, find yourself in situations that you can go and really, really inspire yourself to grow. I mean, inspire yourself to grow in the best way. I mean, make sure every single day you're positive in front of people and you're doing something that you love to do all the time. So making sure all the time that you're going to go and do something every single day that makes it worth it for you. I promise you when you do that, I promise you it's the best aspect. I promise you the best aspects is the best life. I promise you when you have the best life in your life, I mean, you're always looking to search for the better way. So all the time you're making sure you're always understanding your life in the better way, and then you're understanding how it is to live people in a different way all the time, and then making sure you can go and really, really be financially successful with yourself and other people is very important. So we're focusing on understanding that we have to create a hype about you. Or else we must make sure that we are sharing you around all the time. I mean, you must understand that. So when you're doing that all the time and you're doing something that you really love to do for yourself, then you're understanding how it is to go and speak with yourself all the time. I see, so all you do is just walk away. I mean, just walk away, brother. I mean, no violence here. I understand. I mean, people can call you whatever they want, but make sure you just never cause violence is what you need to do. I mean, that's your responsibility. I thank you. So make sure you understand that people can call you a drug addict or an asshole or whatever it is. But guess what? I mean, never take offense. I mean, never try to cause them violence for that. Because if I come here trying to cause you violence today, it's because then it's like I'm trying to control you or something like that. So I never want to cause you violence because nobody loves violence. I mean, you must understand, everybody must love violence, but never do the violence. I mean, Jesus Christ loves violence, but Jesus Christ never does the violence. I mean, in a sense, so we're focusing on understanding every single day. I'm understanding all the time. I can do that. I have no worries. I'll do it at the back. I thank you, boss. I thank you. I mean, you're the first one over here. I thank you, boss. I just did a nice and beautiful signature with this customer over here. So I'm understanding either way that what's important is understanding every single day to go and focus on your life and focus on success and focus on understanding every single day that you have to go and be much more and you have to be leveling yourself. But violence is never the solution, and understand that you must never be violent is what Jesus Christ is saying. But what Jesus Christ says is love everything. I mean, love everything with an open heart and love violence, but never do the violence. I mean, I love drug addicts, but I never do drug addicts. I mean, you understand? I never try to go personally to them. I mean, you understand? I never try to go to anybody, but I love everything. I love people, but I never go to them. I mean, in a sense, so what's amazing is I love everything about life, but I love to do just Jesus Christ today. I'm just doing Jesus Christ. I'm never doing other people. I'm doing Jesus Christ and His work today. I mean, I'm understanding this is Jesus Christ's work right here. So I'm understanding that when I go and stand up for Jesus Christ and I stand up for Jesus Christ, I'm doing it for the word I. I'm making sure I understand how to get myself into authority with Jesus Christ every single day, to go and pronounce His name much more in front of people so that people can follow Him. Because I understand I follow Him, and that's why. So I do what I say, and what I say is what I do. Now, when I do that every single day, I'm focusing on understanding that I want to go and I want to do the best I can every single day, because that's what you need to do to become everything you ever want to be. But you have to expand that knowledge. So when I look at my nice and beautiful journal here, I have a nice and beautiful journal, and I write in it all day long. And now, since I write in my journal so much words, I expand my words. I expand my riches. I expand money in my life. I expand the health. I expand everything. I become much more aware of the world around me. I mean, how is that possible? But make sure you understand that when you have one page that's blank, but you go and write 50 billion pages of words. I promise you now, you are 50 billion times richer. I mean, you understand? Because you're much more aware 50 billion times. Because that's what you gave. I mean, understand that the first thing that you must understand on that blank page is the word I. I mean, put the word I on that blank page first. I mean, when you see a blank page, write the word I first. I first is the number one rule. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you understand that you already have your first letter to write on that blank page. I. Now you can write I love I. I love I because I understand today I was with my mum. I understand that she went to the shops. I was picking up my kids, and this is what happened. I went to this guy, and he was giving me problems. I mean, this is what I said. I said, I love you. I mean, and then he says that he loves me too. I understand either way, I gave him 10 bucks. I'm pretty sure that's a nice, beautiful story about you. I mean, you just gave a story of what you've done at the shops. So then you continue. And then you say, for example, I came back with my kids to see my mum, and guess what happened? I understand that she was cooking. She was cooking fish or something. I understand that I never did want to eat fish, but I went to get something else. Because I understand that I went to get something in terms of whatever I was eating. I understand I have to remember, but I understand I was eating the nuts. I chose to eat nuts because of fish, in terms of over fish, because I understand that my reason for choosing nuts over fish is because I understand that I'm a vegan, for example. I understand, although this is how I became vegan. I became vegan through these kind of attitudes, and this is what I've done. I mean, now you're teaching people your story of who you are, and every single day, that's how you actually go and write something out for yourself, and that's one chapter of your life every single day. I mean, make sure you understand that nice and beautiful wording there is just a little essay about your life. But if you keep writing more of that, that is a great legacy I mean, you understand? So look at my video over here. I mean, look at all the words I've given. I mean, that's exactly what you must be doing. I mean, you must be giving those words of yourself. I mean, you must be understanding how it is to go and live life much greater than you are. So I'm trying to expand my words as much as I can to have this massive amount of vocabulary behind what I've said. Because when I give you 50 billion hours worth of actual words, now I'm 50 billion times much better. I mean, in a sense, so I'm always understanding that there's no waiting for other people to speak your video for you. I mean, nobody's going to come here to speak my video for me. I mean, if I'm interviewing other people in my video, of course it's because they are building their legacy in my video. I mean, you understand? But this is my legacy. Of course, now if you understand to just go and do your legacy today and nobody else's, I mean, you must be the sole proprietor of your legacy and who you are. I mean, you must be the main character. So who's the main character of this film in terms of this video here? I'm the main character. So if you come into my house and you come into my YouTube, I mean, that's what you're watching. I welcome you. I mean, you must welcome people into your house. I mean, this video is public. I mean, everybody can watch it on YouTube. I mean, Africa and China and Malaysia and all these countries can go on YouTube today. I mean, you must understand, it's just one click. I mean, it's just one code. I mean, straight to your doorstep. I mean, straight into your house, which is your school. I mean, you understand? So what's important is understanding that you guys can also download my videos and download all my stuff right now in Mega Drive and have yourself a make yourself a Mega Drive online storage where you can store all of your content about you, because it's about you today. I mean, you must understand. So when you really, really understand how to grow yourself in different ways, then you have to understand every single day to go and be the best version of yourself, because that's what I need of you. I need you to understand this is personal development, and this is how you lead people in front of crowds. I mean, you go in front of a crowd, and then guess what? You do a free busking performance, or you make a big live event somewhere, and then guess what? I mean, you made $10,000 on the spot, and guess what? Now you just understand either way that you're charging people at the door eventually. And then guess what? I mean, before they even see you, I mean, they give you $10,000 before they even see you, because they can afford it. I mean, you must understand that when 10,000 people come to the stadium to watch you, I mean, that's $10,000 times 10,000 people is how much you just made. I mean, then go 60% of that goes to the bank, and then you make 40% of that money. I mean, you must understand, although, that the organization of the money and organization of everything happens, and then just take away another 10% of that, and you make 30% of it, at least. So what's amazing is understand that's how you make money. I mean, you make money by going into the crowds to teach them, just like Jesus Christ. So what is this? I mean, this is what Jesus Christ does on the street too. I mean, you must understand, so when I'm doing this in front of a crowd, I feel much happier. I feel exhilarating, because at least my legacy is growing. I'm growing my legacy, so I come here to do my legacy. So I'm understanding I have no excuses. I mean, there's no excuses, but I can do this at home. I can do this in my accommodation. But my accommodation is my word I. I understand my little accommodation and my attractiveness is the word I only. Of course, if you want to judge me, then judge me as one word in the Bible and of life itself, and it's the word I. I mean, just say, that man over there in the video is I. I'm just I. I mean, everybody's just I. So everything I ever see around me is, I judge it as I only. I mean, that's what I'm saying for you to judge me as. I mean, judge me as the word I. I mean, make sure you understand that when you really come back to that word I all the time, and you're always speaking and you're always delivering that nice and beautiful content with yourself, I mean, you're always focusing on something greater for yourself, and you're focusing on understanding that you want to go and do something very pronunciating with yourself all day long. So when you can focus on doing something that you love to do daily, then focus on going on different areas. Going into different areas of life with yourself, and go and focus on experiencing something new with yourself. So we're focusing on understanding that we have to go and do something that we love to do. I promise you, it's so important. So we're focusing on making sure that we're never causing trouble, but we're making sure how to grow ourselves is everything. I mean, it's very important. So we're focusing on understanding every day that we're going to go and do something that we love to do. So it's about communicational styles. I mean, it's about communication. So when you get up on the television, I mean, you see the journalist, which is the news reporter, and they start talking something. Why? Because they're boosting their own legacies. I mean, that's their legacy on video. So you're watching them on video because they're boosting their legacy. And then every single day on 6 p.m. channel, on the 9 channel in terms of the news channel, or the 7 channel, in terms of Channel 7 News or Channel 9 News or Channel 10 News in Australia, I'm pretty sure on 6 p.m. every single night, I'm pretty sure some journalist steps up and starts talking to you about the news. I'm pretty sure that's because they are building their own legacy while they're working a 9-to-5 job. I mean, in a sense, so what am I doing here? I'm never working a 9-to-5 job. I'm working this 24/7. I mean, in a sense, so this is my own news channel. I mean, this is something that's different from the actual news channels of Australia and the world. I mean, this is something of positive courage and positive material and positive spirituality I give in my video. So in my video, I'm giving you the update. I'm giving you the news as well. I'm giving you the different kind of news. I'm giving you something different than what they're giving. I mean, they may be just talking about the vaccines and just the coronavirus today, and that's it. I mean, I'm talking about Jesus Christ and health and fortune and being rich and abundance and giving. I mean, I'm more that. I'm more making sure they understand to go that way and becoming a great legacy and a star and making sure you can public speak, and more personal development is what I'm talking about, and communicational skills. So if you're understanding every single day to go and focus on your heart today, then you understand who's much more important than everybody else. I mean, it must be the word I. I mean, the word I. I mean, who is the word I today? I mean, everybody's the word I. I mean, everybody's important. I mean, every single day we're focusing on understanding that when you can lift yourself all day long and then you can focus on doing something that you love to do. I mean, you must understand, I'm just 28 years of age, but I'm learning how to grow. I'm learning how to be the best. I see. I'm just the word I. I'm just the word I. I see when you're asking anything that you want to say and you want to say something, just keep speaking. I want you here. I want you to talk with me here. I'm the word I. I'm just the word I.
I is nothing. I is but a syllable. I know a P word called PU that can't even speak English and doesn't need to. That can teach more children things about the fucking philosophical world that we live in if they add a little bit to it. I is just a fucking another letter that's segregated from others. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, how many letters are in the alphabet?
I could say my first letter. I can say my first letter is the word I. I understand it's 23 or 24 letters, but what's amazing is understanding.
There's 26 letters in the alphabet. How many of those are vowels? Wait, how many are vowels?
I can say there are 5 vowels.
I is just a vowel. 5 vowels out of 26 letters, and you're sitting here saying that you are just I. No,
I'm just the word I.
Everybody is more than just I. You are more than just you. Who is more than just you? I am. Please answer that question.
I am I only.
I
mean, I choose to be I.
If you choose to be I am only, then why are you here preaching things that are just about a singular thing?
I'm just doing my work. I'm just doing my work over here. So I'm understanding. I'm just doing my
Are
legacy.
you paid to do this work?
I'm doing it for free.
It's your legacy?
I mean, it's my legacy over here. So
Show everybody your audience that...
I understand. I have a YouTube account, so I post it on YouTube.
No, but would you mind showing me your audience you've been talking to?
I have my audience on YouTube.
No, but I'm saying the audience that you say you're talking to your audience.
I'm just talking to I today. I'm talking to nobody else.
Someone said to you, I am what? What are you?
I'm just the word I understand that's important to me. I'm just the word I, yeah. So I understand that is what I really categorize myself as. I love I. I'm just the word I today. I'm approaching now every single day when I start something and I do something very important for myself. I'm understanding that I understand every single day how to really, really be much more. So when I'm doing something very important for myself, I'm understanding every single day. I thank you very much, sir. I understand. I just wanted to go and really, really be something much more. So every single day, I'm focusing on understanding that it's so important for you guys to understand that if you want to go and really do something every single day, understand that if you're doing something else every single day, focus on doing something for yourself. So what you need to realize is, I'm just focusing on my life.
Are you preaching shit? Are you preaching shit? What are you preaching? Allah?
I'm just preaching myself over here.
Well, fucking, we don't want to hear it.
I understand.
Put your fucking mask on and fuck off.
I understand, mate. I understand.
Fuck off.
I have no worries, mate.
You're an idiot.
I have no worries. I understand, guys. I mean, you guys can see what I have to do. I have to do this over here. So, I want you guys to see that sometimes. I want you guys to see sometimes what happens is sometimes there's drug addicts around. So what you need to do
is you need to just go really quickly, because when this happens and they start coming up to you like this, I mean, what you need to do is realize that I realize you can get some violence. I realize you can get into a violence situation. So what you do is you leave before the violence actually starts, because if they start causing you, let's say, issues or something like that, I mean, make sure you just go. I mean, in a sense, so make sure you go quickly every single day. I mean, just never be afraid of yourself.